emotional connection. For example, and I want to kind of paint a picture for you. And this is much of what I dealt with in my traditional business. Say Mary is an IT director. She maintains IT support, research and development, all of the connections associated with her business, and the majority of her business, all of it is dependent upon the internet. And so she obviously has to have a good connection, a reliable connection, one that can grow as her business grows, and one that she can work well with the company. So her current solution, say she is with company A, and she's on a shared network, which means it's not a dedicated service. The reliability may be a little bit of a factor, and it limits her on the amount of bandwidth that she can have. So she's seeking out a dedicated solution, which will help her for security and reliability. So company A, she's been with them for a while. They're with her budget, but she has very poor experience with customer support. If they do have issues, their downtime is significant, and it's not good for their business. But she's considered them. They're bidding for her business, for her, improved business, which is the fiber connection. Okay, so Company B is a new company. They're the competitor. They're the one that can offer a fiber connection as well. And they offer scalability, reliability, but the price point is 15% higher every month than the budget that was approved by their accounting department. So, this is where she's in a bind. And this is the opportunity. Say I'm Company B, and I'm listening to her as she tells me about her current solution. And she's telling me that my competitor can provide everything on the list except for room for growth, possibly, and customer support. And my company, she's like, I'd love to go with you, but you're just not you're not below my budget. And that's definitely going to affect any finances that we may need in the future. And so this is my opportunity to really understand the emotional connection behind her decision, aside from price. And this is a good question to ask in your business. If there is a price fixed customer, ask them, if you could have it any way you wanted and price wasn't an issue, how would you design the solution that you're seeking? And they will give you the benefits or the qualities that they need from a business. And at that point, you can find out whether or not your business can offer those things to them. But in this scenario, if she's telling me that, everything's great, I can offer her scalability, reliability, and most importantly, customer support, but price is only getting in the way, I'm understanding if she's telling me that Company A is not providing customer support, then this is my opportunity to understand the emotional connection to the purchase. Okay, so I'm saying, Mary, I understand here. I understand that you have to stay below budget. However, one of the biggest problems that you currently face is, that your downtime and your relationship with your current company is not what it needs to be or not where it needs to be. And you're also telling me that it would take longer if you had to expand at a later date to get an additional fiber connection. So those things are seeming to be pretty significant issues in your business. And that, and say, understand that, relate to that. Ask more questions. Say, what would happen to your business? Get numbers if you went over 15% every month. And, and then, say, what can I do to help you? Is there funds in the marketing department? Is there funds in the R&D department? Is there funds in maybe the production department? Any of those things. Is there someone that maybe we can talk to together? Because it sounds like that the stresses that you've had with your current solution have been so high, and you're fearful that may happen again. And so, I want to eliminate that for you. Have you considered finding the cost associated with the downtime that you currently face. How much money do you lose in productivity when your circuit's down? And how often is your circuit down? Are you even losing more through your downtime than the extra 15% over budget each month? And so it's also, I mean, don't ask necessarily yes or no questions, but open-ended questions. Help them surface all of those emotions and all of those concerns, but also the value, and you're trying to create a perfect solution for them. If we understand Mary and we help her uncover those solutions and those needs through what we can offer, we build value in ourselves and the relationship with them and in the business. And value always supersedes price when it's that important on an emotional level. The cost associated with Mary choosing company A because of price over choosing company B, the cost is greater. She's taking a huge risk of that burden being on her if the company fails with their internet solution. And and if the cost is greater than the price, the value for what you can offer will win. And so consider that in your business. Consider that staying in the customer mindset in everything that you do, and then you'll definitely prosper, and you'll build that relationship, and you'll help people find a total need. So that's it for the March newsletter. I'll remind you again real quick as far as the EWE books out online. They're on the ewe.com/checkout.html. If y'all want to email me at any time, if you have questions, concerns, comments, my email is melissac@ewe-ewe.com. And please feel free to join in on the blogs. I love writing the blogs, and it's part of my passion, and I would love for your input or your contribution. That's at ewe.com/ewebloggers.html. Be the best version of yourself each day. Have a servant's heart and a leader's mind. Know that you deserve all that you desire, as long as you are willing to take the journey. I hope that you've enjoyed this newsletter, and I look forward to April. And until then, have a blessed day, and I will see you again on the web. Bye.